In 1984, a 14-year-old in Akron, Ohio, made more cash crushing aluminum cans on Saturday mornings than his father earned in factory overtime. That actually happened all across America, in driveways and garages and church parking lots. Here is the strange part. Almost every method on this list still works in 2026, and some pay better now than they did then. Number 7 turned a shoebox of cardboard into thousands of dollars, and it is happening again right now. Number 4 quietly made working families more than their day jobs. And number 1 is something most people are sitting on without even realizing it. These were not get-rich schemes. They were honest hustles your parents and grandparents used to pay rent and fill gas tanks. Before we count them down, hit subscribe, because at least one of these could put money in your pocket this weekend. Let us start the countdown with number 20. Number 20, aluminum can collecting. In the early 1980s, recycling centers paid cash by the pound, and a sharp kid with a garbage bag and a good route could turn other people's trash into real money. After a 4th of July barbecue or a Friday night football game, the bleachers and parking lots were littered with empties. Collectors would crush them flat to fit more in a sack, sometimes hauling them in a red wagon, and cash them in at the scrapyard on Monday. A pound of cans, roughly 24 crushed empties, paid around 30 cents back then, and a dedicated weekend could net $10 or $15. That bought a lot in 1983. The smell of stale soda and the clink of the bag became the sound of pocket money. Here is the thing nobody tells you. It still works. In 2026, aluminum pays between 40 and 60 cents a pound depending on your state. And bottle deposit states like Michigan pay a dime per can on top of that. People with a truck and a route still pull in serious side money. The wagon got bigger, but the hustle never died. Number 19, the paper route. Before sunrise, hundreds of thousands of American kids pedaled through quiet streets with canvas bags slung across their handlebars, folding newspapers and snapping them onto porches with practiced aim. A route of 40 to 60 houses in 1982 could pay $50 to $100 a month, plus tips at Christmas when grateful subscribers slipped a $5 into an envelope. The job taught a generation about responsibility, weather, and the unforgiving math of collecting payment door to door. You learned which dogs to fear and which porches gave good tips. The newspaper itself has faded, but the model never did. In 2026, the same early morning instinct pays through package delivery, grocery and meal drop-off, and flyer distribution routes that local businesses still hire out. Apps replaced the canvas bag, and the bicycle became a hatchback. But the principle is identical. Reliable people who show up before everyone else, rain or shine, still get paid for it. The kid who learned a route at 11 often grew into the adult who never feared an honest day's work. Number 18, seasonal snow and leaf work. Nothing made winter money faster than a shovel and a willingness to be cold. After a heavy snowfall in 1985, a teenager could knock on doors up and down the block and clear driveways for $5 to $10 apiece, sometimes finishing 8 or 10 homes before lunch. Older neighbors who could not manage the wet, heavy snow were happy to pay. Come autumn, the same hustle shifted to raking leaves into towering piles and bagging them by the dozen. The work was simple. The demand was guaranteed by the calendar, and the customers came back every single season. That dependability was the secret. In 2026, the snowblower and the leaf blower made the work faster, but elderly and busy homeowners still need it done and still pay for it. Now often $30 to $50 a driveway in many areas. Some folks turned a single shovel into a small plowing business with a truck and a contract list. The weather has not changed. The need has not changed. And neither has the payoff for whoever shows up first. Number 17, babysitting. In the 1980s, every neighborhood had a roster of trusted teenagers who watched the kids while parents went to dinner or a movie. The going rate was $1 or $2 an hour, often paid in crumpled bills at the end of the night, along with whatever was left in the fridge. A busy Saturday sitter could clear $15 or $20, and the good ones built loyal repeat clients through pure word of mouth. Parents talked, reputation spread, and the reliable sitter was booked solid. It was one of the few jobs available to someone too young for a real paycheck, and it taught patience, first aid, and how to handle a screaming toddler at midnight. The work is unchanged in 2026, except the rate climbed to $18 to $25 an hour in most American cities, and platforms now connect sitters with vetted families instantly. CPR, certification, and a clean reference list command even more. The fundamentals are exactly what they were 40 years ago. Trustworthy people watching children for working parents will always be needed, and they will always be paid in cash and gratitude. Number 16. Roadside stands. Long before farmers markets became a weekend trend, families set up folding tables at the end of the driveway and sold what the garden gave them. Tomatoes, sweet corn, zucchini, and eggs from the backyard hens moved fast in summer, often on the honor system with a coffee can for payment. A good corner on a busy road in 1986 could clear $40 or $50 on a Saturday. Pure profit from seeds and chickens that cost almost nothing. Kids ran the stand, made change, and learned to barter. The cardboard sign and the hand-lettered prices were a rite of passage. In 2026, this is quietly booming again. Backyard egg sellers charge $5 to $7 a dozen as grocery prices climb, and homegrown produce, honey, and cut flowers sell briskly through neighborhood apps and front yard stands. The Honor System coffee can become a payment app QR code taped to the table. The model is timeless. Grow or raise something people eat every day and sell it cheaper and fresher than the store, right where they drive past. Number 15. Car washing and detailing. On a hot summer Saturday in the 1980s, a bucket, a hose, and a couple of friends were a small business. Kids washed cars in the driveway for $3 to $5, and church groups and sports teams held fundraiser washes that pulled in hundreds in an afternoon. The ambitious ones went further, learning to clay bar paint, shampoo carpets, and dress tires, until a tired family sedan looked showroom fresh. That extra skill, the detailing, is what separated the kids earning pocket change from the ones building something. A full detail in 1985 might fetch $25 or $30. Today, that same detail runs $150 to $300, and mobile detailers who drive to the customer's home or office stay booked weeks out. The startup cost is still almost nothing, a few supplies and a willingness to work in the sun. People love their cars and hate cleaning them, which was true in 1983 and is even truer now. The hustle scales from a kid with a hose into a full-time trade for anyone with patience and elbow grease. Number 14. Dog walking and pet sitting. When families went on vacation in the 1980s, they did not always have a kennel option, so they paid the responsible kid down the street to feed the cat, walk the dog, and water the plants. A week of pet sitting might pay $20 or $30, and a daily dog walk added up over a month. It was steady, low-drama income built entirely on trust, because you were being handed a key to someone's home. Reliable pet sitters became neighborhood institutions, passed from family to family for years. This is one of the biggest quiet success stories of 2026. Professional dog walkers in American cities now charge $20 to $30 per walk, and overnight, pet sitting runs $50 to $100 a night. Apps connect sitters with a flood of clients, and people who turned it into a route walking several dogs a day earn a genuine full-time living. Pet ownership only grew, and people treat their animals like family, which means they spend like it. The kid with a leash and a good reputation had the right idea all along. Number 13. Tutoring. The honor student who explained algebra better than the teacher had a marketable skill, and in the 1980s, parents paid for it. A few dollars an hour to help a struggling kid through fractions or French was a bargain compared to the cost of a failing grade. Tutors worked at kitchen tables, libraries, and church basements, and the best ones built reputations that filled their afternoons. Some specialized in SAT prep and charged a premium as college competition heated up. Knowledge was, and is, one of the few things you can sell over and over without ever running out of inventory. In 2026, tutoring exploded online. In-person tutors charge $30 to $80 an hour, and specialists in test prep or coding command well over $100 an hour. The difference now is reach. A tutor at a kitchen table once served their neighborhood, but a tutor with a webcam serves the whole country. Teachers, retirees, and even sharp students fund their lives this way. The fundamental trait has not changed in 40 years. Someone knows something, someone else needs to learn it, and that gap is worth money. Number 12. Mending and alterations. Here is the first pattern break, because this one almost disappeared, and that is exactly why it pays. In the 1980s, when a hem fell or a seam split, you did not throw the garment out. You took it to the woman in the neighborhood with the good sewing machine. She hemmed pants for a couple of dollars, took in dresses, patched work clothes, and replaced zippers for pennies in materials. It was steady, quiet income earned from a corner of the living room, often by someone who could not leave the house for a regular job. The skill was common then. It is rare now, and that scarcity is the opportunity. In 2026, a basic hem costs $12 to $20 at a tailor, and full alterations on a suit or wedding dress run into the hundreds. Almost nobody under 40 knows how to do it, and dry cleaners stay backlogged. Anyone who learns to sew well can charge what they want, work from home, and never run short of customers. The throwaway culture that should have killed this trade instead made it valuable. Number 11. Firewood. For anyone with a chainsaw, a truck, and access to fallen trees, winter meant money. In the 1980s, a cord of split, seasoned hardwood sold for $80 to $120, and the raw material was often free. Storm-downed limbs, dead trees, neighbors wanted gone, scraps from a tree service. The work was hard, cutting, splitting, hauling, and stacking, but the margins were excellent because the wood cost almost nothing but sweat. Families who heated with wood bought several cords a season, so a good supplier had repeat customers locked in by October. In 2026, a cord of seasoned hardwood sells for $250 to $500 depending on the region, and demand spikes every time energy prices climb. The bundles sold outside grocery stores for campfires mark up even higher per pound. The barrier to entry is still just equipment and labor, and the supply of free wood is endless. After every storm, it remains one of the purest examples of turning physical work and a little equipment directly into cash, exactly as it did when Reagan was in office. Number 10. Scrap metal. While kids chased aluminum cans, the adults went after the bigger money in copper, brass, steel, and old appliances. In the 1980s, a Saturday spent hauling a dead water heater, a broken lawnmower, and a coil of copper wire to the scrapyard could pay $30 or $40, and people often paid you to take their junk away on top of that. Copper was the prize, stripped from old wiring and pipes, worth far more than the common metals. Scrappers cruised alleys on trash day and built relationships with contractors who had demolition debris to clear. The work was dirty, but the cash was immediate. In 2026, copper trades high, often over $3 per pound at the yard, and steel, aluminum, and brass all still pay. People with a truck still build real side income, clearing out garages, job sites, and estate cleanouts, frequently getting paid twice, once to haul it and once to scrap it. The yards have not gone anywhere. Junk is still everywhere, and someone who knows what metal is worth still turns it into money every single week. Number 9. Garage sale flipping. Garage sale flipping. Second pattern break, because this is where a hobby quietly became a profession. In the 1980s, sharp-eyed bargain hunters cruised weekend garage sales and estate sales, buying underpriced treasures, a $2 lamp, a $5 tool set, a box of old records for $0.25, then reselling them at flea markets and swap meets for many times the price. The whole business ran on knowing what things were actually worth when the seller did not. A good flipper could turn a $20 Saturday into a $200 Sunday at the flea market table. It took knowledge, hustle, and a good eye. This exploded in 2026. The garage sales and estate sales are still gold mines, but now the resale happens online to a national audience instead of a flea market crowd. People build full-time incomes flipping furniture, vintage clothing, tools, and electronics they bought for pocket change. The arbitrage is identical to 1985. Buy low from someone who does not know what they have. Sell at the real market price to someone who does. The internet just made the buyer pool infinite. Number 8. Coin roll hunting. This one sounds almost too simple, but it was real money for the patient. In the 1980s, collectors bought rolls of pennies, nickels, dimes, and half-dollars from the bank at face value, then searched through them for silver coins, rare dates, and mint errors before returning the rest. Before 1965, dimes and quarters were 90% silver, worth many times their face value, and they still turned up in circulation. A dedicated hunter could pull a few dollars of silver out of a $25 box of half-dollars with nothing lost but time, since the unwanted coins went right back to the bank. It was free to play and impossible to truly lose. Astonishingly, this still works in 2026. Silver coins still surface in bankrolls, and with silver prices high, a single 90% silver quarter is worth several dollars. Hunters also find valuable error coins and key dates worth far more. The bank gives you the inventory at face value and takes back whatever you do not want. It is the closest thing to a free lottery ticket that has ever existed, and the odds never expired. Number 7. Baseball cards and collectibles. The shoebox in the closet was a gold mine, and the kids who understood that in the 1980s made real money. Trading cards, comic books, and toys could be bought cheap. A pack of cards for 35 cents, and the right rookie card or first-issue comic appreciated fast. Savvy collectors haunted card shows and shops, learning grades and print runs, buying low and trading up. A card bought for $1 could become worth $50 within a few years if the player broke out. It taught a generation about markets, speculation, and the brutal lesson that condition is everything. In 2026, the collectibles boom is bigger than it ever was in the 1980s. Graded vintage cards sell for thousands. Sealed retro video games and comics command staggering prices, and modern cards trade like stocks. People build businesses buying collections from folks who do not know what they own, getting cards professionally graded and reselling them. The cardboard in your parents' attic is being hunted right now by buyers who know exactly what those overlooked boxes might hold. Number 6. Home party sales. In the 1980s, the living room became a storefront. Companies selling kitchenware, cosmetics, candles, and home goods recruited ordinary people, mostly women, to host parties where friends and neighbors gathered, watched a demonstration, and placed orders. The host earned a commission on every sale, plus free product, and a popular hostess with a big social circle could clear $100 or more in an evening of pure socializing. It turned relationships into a sales force and gave stay-at-home parents real, flexible income without a commute. The format relied on something powerful: the trust between friends. In 2026, this model went digital and got bigger. The living room party became the live video stream and the social media storefront, but the engine is identical. People sell to their networks, earn commissions, and build downlines. The smart operators treat it like the real business it is, focusing on actual product value and repeat customers. The Tupperware party never died. It just moved to a phone screen, and the people who understand persuasion and community still make it pay. Number 5. Vending machine routes. This is where money started making money. In the 1980s, an entrepreneur could buy a used vending machine for a few $100s, place it in a busy laundromat, factory break room, or car wash, and collect quarters while they slept. Each machine might net $50 to $100 a month after restocking, and the real wealth came from scale. Build a route of 20 machines, and you had a serious income that ran mostly on its own, requiring only restocking and the occasional repair. The hard part was landing good locations, which came down to relationships with the property owners. In 2026, this is thriving, and the machines got smarter. Modern vending machines take cards and phone payments, track inventory remotely, and tell you when to restock. Operators run routes of snacks, drinks, and even high-margin specialty items, earning thousands a month semi-passively. The barrier is still capital and location hunting, but the dream is unchanged. Place a machine where people are bored and hungry, and it collects money 24 hours a day, whether you are there or not. 40 years later, the quarters just turned into card swipes. Number 4. House painting. Few skills paid a young person more per hour in the 1980s than a steady hand with a paintbrush. A crew of college kids could paint the exterior of a house over a summer week and split $1,000 or more, and interior jobs in fall and winter kept the work year-round. The startup cost was almost nothing. Brushes, rollers, ladders, and drop cloths. And the demand was endless because every house needs repainting eventually. The ones who showed up on time, taped clean lines, and did not spill on the carpet got referred to the whole neighborhood. Reputation was the entire business. In 2026, painters are in such short supply that good ones turn away work. A single interior repaint runs $2,000 to $5,000, and a full exterior job reaches well into 5 figures. Many famous business owners got their start with a college painting crew, learning to bid jobs, manage workers, and satisfy customers. The trade is exactly as accessible now as it was then. Low cost to enter, high demand, and a skill you can learn in a weekend that pays for the rest of your life. Number 3, wedding and portrait photography. In the 1980s, a decent camera and an eye for a moment turned into a thriving weekend business. Couples needed someone to shoot their wedding, families wanted portraits, and seniors needed graduation photos. And a competent photographer charged $200 to $500 per event when that was real money. The barrier was the equipment and the skill of working with film, where you could not see your mistakes until the prints came back. The good ones built a portfolio, got referred by happy couples, and stayed booked every Saturday of the season. It was creative work that paid like a trade. In 2026, the gear got cheaper and the results instant, but the demand multiplied. Wedding photographers now charge $2,000 to $5,000 and up per event, and there is endless work in family sessions, real estate photography, products, and social media content. Anyone who learns lighting, composition, and how to make people comfortable can build a business from a single camera. The technology changed completely, but the core has not. People will always pay well to freeze the most important days of their lives. Number 2, the handyman. Here is the final pattern break, because this is the quiet trade that outlasted everything. In the 1980s, the person who could fix a leaky faucet, hang a door, patch drywall, and replace a light fixture never lacked for work. Homeowners who could not or would not do it themselves paid $15 or $20 an hour for someone competent, and a good handyman with a truck and a toolbox strung together enough small jobs to earn a solid living entirely by word of mouth. No degree, No license for basic work, just skill and reliability. The reputation traveled house to house. In 2026, the handyman is more valuable than ever because fewer people know how to fix anything, and tradespeople are in critical short supply. Skilled handymen charge $50 to $100 an hour, stay booked weeks out, and many turn it into full crews. The work cannot be outsourced or automated because a broken pipe needs human hands in a specific house. Of every skill on this list, this might be the most bulletproof. Things break forever, and the person who can fix them never goes hungry. And finally, number 1, renting out a spare room. This was the wealth builder hiding in plain sight, and it still is. In the 1980s, families with an extra bedroom took in a boarder, a college student, a traveling nurse, or a young worker new to town for $200 or $300 a month. That rent often covered a chunk of the mortgage, quietly turning the house into something that paid for itself. Smarter still were the people who bought a small duplex, lived in one half, and let the tenant in the other half cover the entire payment. They were building equity with someone else's money, and most of their neighbors never realized what they were doing. It was the slow, steady road to real wealth, available to ordinary working people. In 2026, this is more powerful than ever. A spare room rented long-term brings $600 to $1,200 a month in most American markets, and short-term rentals to travelers can earn far more. The strategy of buying a property and letting tenants cover the mortgage, often called house hacking now, has created more everyday millionaires than any flashy investment. The roof over your head can pay for itself. That was true 40 years ago, and it is the single most reliable money move on this entire list. So there they are, 20 forgotten ways Americans made money in the 1980s. Every one of them still working in 2026. The tools changed, the prices climbed, but the lessons never did. Show up early, learn a skill, buy low, and sell smart, and let what you own work for you. Pick just one and try it this week. Then tell me in the comments which hustle your family used, because somebody watching is about to start theirs.